I think let us make a start. What is that noise coming from? Can you mute all your microphones?
Anil, mute a few other people's mic, please.
Make a start. Give me a second. I will just noise coming from.
And Rajita Pereira, just mute, please.
Let us give 1 or 2 more minutes because people are still joining. There are a couple of people I haven't seen for a very long time. Ranjit, how are you? Welcome. We can't hear you. Your microphone is muted.
Probably there'll be one group from Malaiyaha might join Lionel, okay?
All right, okay.
That they may be joining through Clubhouse as well. So if there's an access they ask you, just try and give them, please.
Okay. Okay, let us make a start because we have only 1 hour. Aibowan, Vanakkam, Assalamu alaikum. Warm greetings to you all. Thank you for joining us today via Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube for this important seminar, Behind the Cup of Tea, the Exploitation of Malaiyaha Labour in Sri Lanka. We broadcast this seminar from the traditional lands of the First Nations people of Australia, the lands of the Wiradjuri people of the Kulin Nation. We pay our deep respects to their elders past, present, and emerging, and also to the elders of all other First Nations communities. I am the President of Australian Advocacy for Good Governance in Sri Lanka. I express my sincere gratitude to our Executive Committee for organizing this seminar, with special thanks to Mr. Siraj Pereira for his administrative assistance. In today's session, Comrade Mandiko Moro or Comrade Gwyneth will introduce Comrade Menaha Kandasamy, our speaker tonight. A 30-minute discussion will follow her speech, focused on key issues related to the seminar topic. If you have any questions, please keep them brief. We also expect responses to be comprehensive and succinct. If you could keep your microphones mute, that will be helpful. I like to make a few opening remarks before the speaker is introduced. Around the world, Ceylon tea is proudly marketed as Sri Lanka's gift to the world. Yet behind this celebrated export lies a stark and painful reality. The Malaiyaha community comprise descendants of South Indian workers brought to Sri Lanka over 2 centuries ago under colonial rule. They continue to endure systemic exploitation, discrimination, and marginalization. Their story is one of historical injustice and ongoing struggle. Brought under the oppressive Kangani system, these workers were segregated, disciplined, and denied basic rights, conditions that have shockingly persisted into the present. Despite their central role in sustaining one of the most iconic industries in Sri Lanka, the Malaiyaha people still face inadequate wages, unsafe and unsanitary living conditions, poor access to healthcare and education, and political disenfranchisement. Efforts in recent years to lower wages, increase workloads, and casualize employment have only deepened their vulnerability. Women and older workers are particularly affected, with many denied secure contracts and social protections. While the community joined in solidarity during the 2022 Aragalaya movement, many felt that their unique needs and demands, rooted in a long history of exclusion, were overlooked. Today's seminar is an opportunity to center their voices and to confront the uncomfortable truths behind the cup of tea many of us enjoy. We will examine how generations of Malaiyaha labor have built an industry of national pride, yet remain excluded from its rewards. As we begin, let us reflect on the real cost of tea, not in dollars or rupees, but in dignity, justice, and human potential. It is time to listen, to learn, and to act. Thank you. Now, I will invite Comrade Manrico Moro or Gwyneth. Comrade Gwyneth, yeah. If you could introduce Comrade Menaha.
Yes, thank you so much, Comrade Lionel, and thank you so much, comrades, for this opportunity, and thank you for being here in this important meeting. So my name is Manrico, and I'm here. I'm speaking on behalf of Comrade Gwyneth, or her name is also Guinevere in this project, to introduce Comrade Gwyneth. Guinevere has organized Menaha's visit to Melbourne, Australia from Sri Lanka, and she has organized her program, meeting a number of unionists and particularly doing the public meeting that will take place on Saturday. So I'm just, we invited Menaha to visit us, and she has been a friend with us for a long time. So I'm speaking on behalf of Workers' International Discussion and also Community Defense Marshalling System. And they're the two organizations that have been supporting this program and the overall project of supporting the plantation workers in Sri Lanka. So I just would like to say that Menaha is a tea plucker's daughter. So she has grown on the plantations with the plantation workers. And she started union work in 2002. So since then, she continued to be very, very active in her union. And in 2012, she became the first woman who became a general secretary of a plantation union. And as she did her work, she completely transformed the plantation workers union from a very, very male-dominated union to one that is very supportive of women's rights and also giving women workers a true voice and ability to take action and take leadership. Menaha has believed from the very first day as a unionist that the important task is to strengthen and organize the workers, because that is what actually can make changes in the world. Menaha is at the moment working in the union as an advisor, and she's also a trainer and researcher. So I would like to hand over to Menaha. Thank you for coming to this meeting. Thank you for coming to this country, Menaha.
Thank you, Mandiko. Over to Menaha.
Hi. Uh, Thank you for all of you joining in this meeting because, as you said, plantation workers always remain as invisible. So they kept it's a captive labor system, and also from the country itself, they are isolated. So it's you're all aware about it, and also I'm sure you're all aware about their root, where they came from, right? Extreme poverty helped British to bring those workers to Sri Lanka. And if you see today, from the colonial period to today, we can't see much difference in the plantation sector. That is the sad part of it, because the country is talking about digitalizing, and now it's AI is become like more and more taking over, more forward thinking, but these workers are still in the same situation. That's the truth. So more than 200 years gone, but nothing changed in their life. So actually, I just want to explain a little bit what is happening recently, because due to time, I think it's better to talk about the plant, how this system works. In the plantation sector, they are covered by industrial laws, but it's a more major, their part, legal side, covered by collective agreement. So which was signed in 2003. Then again, for political reason, the trade unions misused, and there was the companies misused the situation. And every other 2 years, they have to discuss about wage increment. So in 2019, the companies refused to sign because to increase 200 rupees more the wage by that time. So therefore, it was rejected and no collective agreement. So after 2019, it helped the companies to do whatever they want. So super highly exploited, already it's an exploited sector, but after 2019, because the collective agreement covers a lot of the sector-based laws. For example, how much kilo tea you pluck for a day. It's a norm fixing. How many kilos you tack rubber. It's a norm fixing. It's mentioned in the collective agreement that trade union local leaders and the management come together and they fix according to the crop season. But that was after 2019, company took over and they started to increase the norm how they want. And the same was the union negotiation, union participation, everything into that collective agreement. So the companies quickly, what they did in 2019, they stopped deducting subscription from the workers. So they weakened the trade unions. So in 2019 and 20, the workers they don't know what to do. Trade unions were pushed out and they couldn't manage to go in. And maybe you all aware about in the plantation sector, mostly the yellow trade unions are there. So they all just jump into the ruling party who win the election and they go there. So therefore, in this collective agreement situation, when they stop signing the collective agreement, so union, red flag union, really, we had so many protests and so many, but it couldn't work, nothing worked. Until today, there's no collective agreement. But what quickly, because of the government election period, they use this as a tool to get a votes from plantation workers. What they did, they took the wage issue to wages board and decided as 1,000 rupees the minimum day pay. So then from there, until today, the wages board is fixing wage for plantation workers. The current wage is 1,350 rupees. And it's one family, mostly the workers have like more than 3 children, right? It's not just one child, and so for whole family, it's 1,350 rupees, Sri Lankan rupees. I think it's like Australian dollars, like nearly $6 or something it comes. So it's for whole family they have to do. So they are like stop having 3 meals and stop having a proper meal. Before also like that, you can imagine in this situation, it went the extreme poverty, there is no way. And actually one good thing, because in Sri Lanka, the free education system, somehow the plantation sector also workers try to send their children to schools. But when this extreme poverty situation, slowly children drop out and they started to do some work in the plantation, right? So this all happening in the child labor starting and the extreme poverty and women, the plantation community again, as I said earlier, it's like kept inside the plantation. They are not aware about anything outside, right? There is no bridge. They don't know what is going on and where to go. If they lost their job, then they had to be in the street, right? So all that experience, with that experience, I really want to point out what happened after 2019. The companies make use of this and they slowly started to casualize the plantation sector. That means the plantation sector always be like formal sector. It's the payroll system, check roll system. At least workers, I won't call it a fantastic labor laws, but at least it covers some EPF, ETF and maternity benefit and compensations, like some labor laws covered. But after 2019, companies slowly used the workers again extreme poverty situation, and they introduced the system like they started with plot land system, and they called so many names, RSM, revenue share module, and they call boat leaves, buyback system, everything they call different names, but everything talking about casualization. It's a casualizing the workers. But what is actually casualization means for the workers? It's they lose their EPF, ETF, which is the one and only their pension money. They lose that. They lose maternity benefit. They lose their compensation, because the plantation sector is one of the sector where there is no protection at all. Right. So animals come and snakes come and they have wasps and all kind of insects, and it's slippery, and the heavy kilos they carry, everything is hazard. Actually, it's not easy, heavy, difficult task. So if there's no compensation, means they are in danger. So it's everything. The companies try to use the workers' extreme poverty and introduce to workers, saying that, oh, you can work in the check roll system and also few days work in the casual system. So then you get both money. So workers actually cheated by them, and so as I said, the poverty situation, they won't think twice. Just they said yes and they started. And this situation started to increase, and especially the down south. And Mathurata plantation, in one estate, fully they changed. So then our union actually, we fought for it and we filed a case in the industrial section and in industrial dispute section. Then we won the case because it's very clearly, we know it's illegal. Because when 1992-93 plantation sector is privatized, until today, it's land owned by government. So companies are managing. So when privatize, it says that they can't sublease. So using that and also using this other current labor laws, they are violating all the laws, we won. But the company took us, actually they appeal it in the Court of Appeal. Still that case is there because former government they didn't file an objection and they didn't take it very serious, this case. It was date given. The current government first time they filed the objection for this case because the appeal is against government and our union also. So now it's in Court of Appeal. The October is next year. We are going to discuss about this. So why I'm saying this, for us, this casualisation is a crucial problem now for the workers. Because if we are not going to stop this casualisation, then slowly, already it's started, the workers are going to lose their work because they have the quick earning money system because its land is not there. When they are not interested in country economy, the companies, they are targeted for their high profit targeting. So they want to quickly earn more. Therefore, what they are trying to do, they are introducing introducing different sectors they are bringing into plantation sector. For example, in Vatawala, in Hatton Vatawala estate, they already started the dairy farm, right? That is, and they bought the workers, not the plantation workers they are taking. So they are taking only to cut grass, the plantation workers, but all bring from some other areas. So slowly, plantation workers are losing their jobs due to this casualization and some all other interest to the companies. So what basically we saw, there are in down south, there are some women, they become pregnant, then they can't, they gave a plot land, they couldn't go and work in that land properly. Some days they couldn't go, and if you're not working like 3 days the given land, the company will take it back, the land. Then you are no job, no land, you just stay at home. So because of she's going to give a birth to the child, she lost her job because of this system. So this system, again, I said we were really good with the child labor. It was in certain extent, or most of the children go to school and all. Because of this system, because the workers given a plot land and as much as tea they can pluck. So therefore, what they are doing, they are asking children to not to go to school, come with them, and they all going and plucking, how much they can pluck, they pluck for a day. Then they earn a lot. So they are showing in the social media, everywhere they are showing that the bulk of money, showing here, see, plantation workers are earning this much money, right? But that they can earn for few months because the lands all maintained by workers. Workers needs to maintain. They don't have money to maintain. They are not going to maintain properly. So therefore, so they are going to lose the crop. You won't get the crop. Those days, it's like within every 7 days, other 7 days, you can pluck tea from one tea bush. But now, because of, it's the poor maintenance, you can pluck maybe 14 days or 15 days after you pluck once. So when it become like a plot land, workers, and again, it's poor maintenance, and it's going to be east the day. So therefore, they are going to lose their income. So in this situation, in this casualized situation, we are seeing it's a big danger for workers' job, workers' life, their family life. And also we are seeing the country's economy is in danger because, as you said earlier, it's very clear tea is one of the major income for Sri Lanka. And so we are going to lose that income, right? So what we are suggesting, we suggested the current government to bring a policy quickly to stop this casualization immediately. I don't know how quick that's going to happen, but I also want to point out one thing. In last year, June 7th and 8th, we had a workers' tribunal. In that workers' tribunal, 12 workers, they gave their testimonies. It's fantastic testimonies. I give just one example. One of the testimony talk about the housing. Then they showed openly in the workers' tribunal. It's one of the famous judge from India, Nepal, and the Sri Lankan Supreme Court judges came to this workers' tribunal. And the worker said, I have to ask every day when my daughter going to change the clothes, I have to ask my husband to go out, get out from my house. And he needs to stay outside. If it's rain or sun or rain, doesn't matter. He has to stay outside until my daughter change her clothes. Then he can come in, because that made very clear the house condition and the living condition, right? So this is not just once, it's every day, 200 years, this is continuing. And one worker showed how the exploitation happening. One example, he bought that urea bag, like a bag which they call the rice and all things. We call urea, the English name for that. It's kind of a sack. It's very, it's not even, we can't say it's kilos. It's no weight at all. That's the bag they always carry for tea, pluck tea, and they put in that bag. So for that bag, all the companies are deducting 3 kilos, right? So when you ask why you are deducting 3 kilos tea from the worker, they will say, no, if it's sometimes the tea leaves are wet. So it is, if it's a rain season, yes, it's wet, but it's not 3 kilos water in that bag. And they also say, no, the bag also got a weight, right? Then this worker showed to the judges that bag and asked, can you touch and tell us, is this bag, how many kilos this bag? Then the judges took the bag and said, no, it's no, it is like a paper, they said they can't deduct like that. So these are the examples every day how the workers are exploited, right? And I'm not going for like the medical and other things. It's nothing there, because after they close all the dispensaries, there is no hospitals. You have to go far away hospitals. They amalgamate with the regional hospitals close by town cities, but they don't have any vehicles to go. So there are no hospitals. So now it's the workers' job for them. Now think about their children or studies or meals or housing. Apart from that, the major problem, major risk for them, they can't lose their jobs. If they are losing their jobs, means it's finished, it's over to their life. So that's why Red Flag Union took it up, this issue, but not now. It's long term we are doing, but one single union can't do much. So we thought it's better to speak up. That's the one that we had this workers' tribunal, and we just send everywhere the suggestions which judges made it, and it is available. If anyone you want, I can send that whole document. It's findings and suggestions are there, and I think I just stop here. If you have any questions or if further anything, I think I can answer.
Thank you very much, Comrade Menaha. And she explained the current situation. I mean, it has been pathetic for 200 years, but it is going to get worse now, according to the information. So I would like to mention that Comrade Mandreko and Comrade Pinet are involved in a project where they are focusing on developing a video just to make the international community aware of what is going on in the plantations. And I just wanted to make you aware of that. And also, before we go to the questions, I would like to share a screen just for your information. Another event this Saturday on the 19th at 3 p.m. at Balam place. I think I read it correctly. 15 Phoenix Street, Brunswick. There's a public meeting. So it is organized by comrades Mandriko and Gwinnett. They are involved in CDMS and Workers International. So obviously there would be many questions about the situation and what we can do and how to help and all that. So I will open it for questions. Now, how we could go about this, if anybody has a question, please raise your hand. And because there are, I think, close to 40 attendees, it will be difficult for me to watch who comes first, who raises hand first. So I will try my best to be reasonable, and so I'd open the session for questions. Thank you.
I got a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I know you mentioned about the attitude of the present government. Do you think that they are taking a different sort of a different way of looking at this problem, especially the casualisation of the labor force in comparison to the previous government?
Can I answer or we are?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Yeah, actually, we met the labor minister last week, and we discussed about this, and we were pressurizing him to bring a policy in the cabinet. He understood. He said yes. He understood, but I am not sure how quick they will do. They're all very busy with a lot of things. And I'm not sure how much he understood the seriousness of this problem. Right. We tried our best. It's only 30 minutes. We got the time to meet him and explain him. And we gave some documents also him to read. But he was like, even his appointment was 11 o'clock. We were able to meet him 2 o'clock. So that much busy. So therefore, he showed his interest. He didn't say, no, we can't. We can see the differences. He is ready to listen to us, and he got our documents, and it's a positive move. But we are a bit scared about, because they are dealing with some other old corruption, and there are a lot of things them to deal also. Whether they will take it serious or not, we are not sure yet.
Thank you. Thank you. I will go by the order of raising hands. Professor Sirihetti raised his hand first, so I will allow her, and then it will be Siti's turn.
Yeah, thank you for giving me a chance. Yeah, I think I really appreciate this event, and I really want to appreciate the presentation that was made. It's really a presentation from within, I would say, the community, and I think that's really good. But I would like to, while agreeing with the suggestions or the the suggestions that were made, with respect to improving the conditions and so on and so forth. But I think there are some cultural issues that also have to be sorted out. I think that's connected to the way the plantations are being managed and so on and so forth. But I would like to make only three very short interventions. One is these issues have been discussed over a long period of time, and I remember in 1995 there was a presidential committee appointed to inquire into and report back on the issues that the plantation communities face. And I'm mentioning this because I'm also a member of that committee, and actually we came up with a whole range of recommendations to address some of the issues that were also mentioned during the presentation today. Now, for instance, about housing, and then also settlements and so on and so forth. So, but then on the other hand, we know that very little has been done based on the recommendations that were made in 1995, long time ago. The second point that I want to make is that there is an opportunity. There are so many opportunities, but I think we have to also figure out where to really put our hands on. The new Social Security Board that was reconstituted, that was appointed a few months ago. Actually, there are this whole issue of casualisation of labor, in the country across the board, in particular the plantation sector, and it's being discussed. And the idea is to basically to come up with initially a very, very pragmatic social protection systems to address the problems faced by different segments of the labor force. Like certainly the plantation community, plantation workers, they are very much in the foreground in that case. So I think there is a possibility now. Of course, I cannot really say anything about how the government is going to handle all these things, but since I'm familiar with these new initiatives that are being discussed at the moment about addressing the social security issues of casual workers and so on and so forth, and we have a whole heap of whole range of such groups, and actually the plantation community basically represents one of the most important. And the third point that I want to, I think there is a bit of an opening, and we might be able now, finally, can I take one more minute? Can I take one more minute?
Be short, please.
Yeah. And actually, now I think while we are looking at these bigger issues, structural issues, and so on and so forth, there are also other ways to address some of these issues, in a more pragmatic way. And I think we certainly have to take certain things closer to the people. And in fact, there is a big discussion going on to establish community center, multifunctional community center in each GN division. I mean, this is a discussion, and actually, some of us are trying our best to really push this so that, we would be able to address some of the issues that the plantation community people in relation to education, health, transport, and so on and so forth. And in addition to some of the other issues like nutrition and so on. So I think, it's a situation where we probably have to really pursue not just one line of action, but a range of, actions in different areas, so that there might be a convergence of some of these things that might really have a positive impact in the future, in the near future, and also in the distant future in the plantation sector. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Sri. I would say it is more commentary, sort of.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So, but I mean, I
Unless,
don't know
unless,
whether the speaker wants to.
Give me a second, Professor Sri. Menaha, if you could, do you want to respond?
No, I think
Right. Okay.
yes, yeah.
Siti, next, your turn. Siti Marikar is one of our close friends, and she is involved in trade union activities in Australia. So,
I'm a former union organizer. What you told us, how the management stopped deducting their union fees, they did the same thing. Australia Post did the same thing with our posties. And I just want to suggest, are they getting paid through the bank, or are they getting cash in their hand?
Cash in the hand.
Ah, that's the problem. I was going to suggest, if it's a bank account, we can go to them and get it signed, and every month the money can come into the union. If it's cash in hand, sorry, I can't help you. I was going to suggest, if it's a bank, that's what we need.
But now
everybody is independent.
Okay, now actually it's again we had a discussion, and now they are deducting and sending us to the checks they are sending to the union. Now the situation changed.
Okay, thanks. That's good to hear.
Okay, next it is I will give the opportunity to Dr. Dhammika Hera. He has mentioned the question on the chat, but if you could speak and raise that issue.
Thank you, Comrade Bobge, and thank you very much for Menaha as well. I wasn't participated in the first discussion, and I do have a reasonable contact with Malaiyaha Tamils as well. Not because that I had a former girlfriend from from estate, and my ex-wife is from Tamil lady as well. Now, the question for me is that I believe this is not just a union problem. This is a problem with Sri Lankan Southern Sinhala Buddhist bourgeois treating estate Malaiyaha Tamils as a second class, or rather non-citizens. That is where the problem lies. And as long as that problem lies, so this is a comment rather, as long as that we stop treating Malaiyaha Tamils as slaves, this problem is never going to solve. It will resolve when the Malaiyaha Tamils are allowed to do whatever they want to do in their lives, with their lives. They were not allowed to leave the state. They need their Kankani's permission for that. As long as they can exercise their free will, their free movement, these problems are going to be there. That's my point of view. I'm sorry that I couldn't bring anything apart from that. I believe that as long as they are not going to given their basic rights as Sri Lankan citizens, this is going to be a perpetual problem. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hera. I think it's a comment. So I will move on to Nivedana, I think. Is it Nivedana? Made a comment on the chat line. Are you there? Nivedana? No. Okay. Then it will be the turn of...
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah. Please.
Sorry, my line is not that right. Thank you so much for organizing this brilliant session, everyone. A quick question. Usually with casualization or temporary workforce introduction, there will be some incentive to trap the worker into this maze of uncertainties and disenfranchisement in the long term. So as part of Sri Lankan casualization of labor, is the Malaiyaha work offered at least a sort of on the face of it a higher wage?
Yeah.
And then I'm not too sure about any incentives around that plot land offer. If you don't mind explaining it briefly to us, would be very grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, when you see the day payment, how much they get for a short period, it's more than the permanent work payment. But if you calculate only in money wise like that, but actually they are losing, we have to remember, they are losing their EPF, ETF, they are losing all other incentive leave, everything they are losing. So then calculating money value, it's not more. And also it won't continue the same level. How much you pluck today, if you pluck today 20 kilos, you get paid. And also they sell, you have to sell to the particular management. You can't sell anywhere else. So how much they decide, they will pay. So it is not the big money, but it's little bit better than the permanent 1,350, but that's for short period. But we have to calculate with they are losing all other rights, right? So then when you calculate with that, they are losing. It's the big loss.
Thank you.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. I will set the order of the questions next. First, I will give the opportunity to Mr. Sundar Nadesan, and then Mr. Sundaresan, and then Trisha. I don't know her name, Trisha. And so, because I'm unwell, I'll have to run to the washroom, and I will come back in a couple of minutes. So please go ahead, Mr. Nadesan, and then Mr. Sundaresan, then Trisha. Yeah. Okay. Your microphone is mute.
Sorry, yeah, thanks, Lionel. It was quite interesting. I missed the first session. This is the second one. But I think, the Mr. Herath, Dhammika Herath hit the problem on the nail, and that's the issue, the major problem of this Malaiyaha Tamils since, 75 years before independence and 75 years after independence. I'm a bit involved in their providing some assistance in education, scholarships, and the classrooms, etc. Smart classrooms. We are trying to do something, but I think there's a lot of expectations. But I'm a bit surprised to hear the current government is even opposing their case, where the previous governments were not opposing, silent, because there were huge expectations that the new government or the new leadership was promised equality, and they will treat all the Sri Lankan citizens equally, and that has given a big hope for the estate Tamils. They consider they are all now citizens, and they should be treated equally, and the basic human rights and the right to work. So we have not addressed the basic issues. And coming back to the accommodation problem, the land belongs to the country. It's only leased out. So there's a simple solution. If the government passes proper legislation allowing making a rule to provide permanent accommodation within the land belongs to the nation, for everybody, not to the companies. And you know that the ministers and previously they took they get favors and even bribed. It's bribery is part of the system there. So the corruption up to the core, and they used to give to big people, big shots. And how can you give a land for 50 years or 99 years old lease when the people who take it won't even live there? So they try to get the best benefit in short time. Anyway, this is all huge problems. My question is, why is that the new government is hesitating to fulfill their promises? Maybe do they have bigger issues or other problems to address? Why can't they fulfill their simple promises they gave it to the plantation workers? That's my question.
It is the same question we also have. So it's 6 months gone, and we waited, and that is the reason they said give us a bit more time. But the problems all are not new, right? They are new, but problems are not new. So we were trying to pressurize. So everything is like to which they need to prioritize is the important that we are not clear. Are they going to give preference to do workers' problems, or are they going to give preference to only the corruption and develop the country economy? We are not clear. So I don't have answer why they are not doing. We also want them to do it.
Thank you. Mr. Sundaresan.
Thanks for the opportunity first. Already Mr. Dhammik and other comrades mentioned the issue. Can you audible?
Yes.
Is it okay? I'm Sundaresan.
Yeah, no video of you.
Yeah, okay. I am Sundaresan. I'm from Beragalacha. I'm from Malaiyaha Tamil. So I'm kindly requesting you all, a year after, please, I hope you all are well-educated and dignity people. A year after, please call us as a Malaiyaha Tamil. Don't call us as a state Tamil or Kallathoni, whatever the words. So I hope you will understand the point. And then the main issue is the current government and the previous government all discriminating or not giving all rights for us is because we are Tamil, not and anything else. I'm frankly telling you, this is the fact. Even the current government, they didn't recognize or highlight the issue of the ethnic issues. So that is the main thing for all these things. I want even this leaflet, you have mentioned Malay labor exploitation. For in future, you have to mention as a Malay Tamil because 99% of the laborers are Malay Tamil. So because of the Tamil, I feel, I'm honestly telling, we are suffering all these issues. And I want to ask from Ms. Menaha, did you all anything, because the labor issues, still our ordinance is estate labor within bracket Indian Ordinance 13 of 1889, which is come to in effect on 31st October of 1889. From that, there is no very big change. From that ordinance only, they are suppressing us. So as a trade union, what is your idea about this ordinance? Why you are not any of even the CWC, all these things, we are wrote so many letters, but they never responded because I know, and you also know, they are not supporting for laborers. So, and that is one issue. And other thing is still why the health sector is, the Malaiyaha Tamils are treated by the EMAs. Did you all raise this issue in your meetings or those things? These are two things I want to know. I want to highlight here because the EMAs are even not O-level qualified people. Even they are not A-level. They never ever studied about the anatomy, physiology, microbiology, nothing. Because I'm one of the pharmacists. My classmates also practice as a doctor in estate sector. Because this discrimination is because we are Tamil, this discrimination is happening in the Buddhist Sinhala country. I'm sorry to say that though it's my motherland, I'm proud to say Sri Lanka is my motherland. I'm a Sri Lankan, but still I'm not 100% agree with the term because this country, so many years, they're discriminating us as because of Tamil. Thank you for the opportunity.
I have a little bit different view on it. I think I need to raise it. Yes, I agree in the plantation sector. most of the workers are Tamil workers. Yes, there is an ethnic issue behind this. I agree, especially in the down south, it's severe. But in the meantime, I also want to point out we have a number of workers, a lot of Sinhala speaking workers, and they also treated as same like this. So I see this as a class issue, as a working class. It's Tamil or Sinhala. They treated in, they are exploited. It's not that Sinhala workers are not exploited like Tamil workers. Yes, number-wise they are less, but I still like to see as
I think
the
Menaha
major one we have to sort it out. And another one, what you talk about the legal reforms, even with the last government we had, we were lobbying and lobbying and lobbying for all the laws are very low. It's the so many years, everything changing, why there is no legal reforms. But every time when we talk about these legal reforms, they will come out with, some other things, which is more danger than what is there. So that is what we really fail in that. We are interested to change, but we started that also long time ago. And EMA issue, already this came out. I will say I 100% agree with you. Yes, it's even though there is no Panadol to give workers, right? And it's this issue also came out from our workers' tribunal, and there was suggestion made by judges that they have to bring again the proper hospital system. So we also lobbying for that. But yes, because it's all in one, whole system is stuck. So we want everything to raise. I agree with you. Thank you for those points.
Thank you.
One point, please. Because the estate labor within bracket Indian audience, that Indian is totally putting us out because we are Sri Lankan. So that's the main thing, because that discrimination should be, that point should be highlighted in the thing. Because I spoke to, I don't want to mention the name, or Professor Sarveshwaran, who is you are all well known, the legal, the department of Dean of the law faculty also. I mentioned him also, sir, this IBAI should be still, you are treating us as Indian. So that's the thing I want to highlight. Thank you. Sorry for the interruption.
Thank you, Mrs. Andresa. I just want to make a comment about your initial question about our flyer identifying Malaiyaha community as. Originally, I wrote it as Malaiyaha Tamil community, but then somebody pointed to me that there are Sinhalese as well as some Muslims working in it. So we had to change it. I mean, even if there's a small community, other than the Malaiyaha community, Malay Tamil community, then we have to recognize that fact. I'm just mentioning that. Thank you. Then it is Ms. Williamson's turn to ask the question. Then I will go back to Dr. Herath, and then Rahul Jaising. Rahul Jaising is from California, I think. So it must be an odd time for him. Okay, all right, Mr. Williamson. Your microphone is mute.
Thank you. My name is Trisha Williamson, and I represent a charity here called Cherished, which works in the Malaiyaha region as well as in the other part of Sri Lanka. I don't mean to bring politics into this, but I do want to raise a concern that many of us working on the ground continue to face. When we try to carry out basic community work, such as replacing a roof or bringing access to water, the permission process, that's the one which is really frustrating us. So the permission process often follow a rigid and unnecessary hierarchical route. So it tends to slow down the process. Sometimes we give up on that and we frustrate our funders. So Menaha, can you tell me whether anything can be done to ease this process? I don't want to take up your time. Sorry, thank you for the opportunity. But if someone can tell me where there is something that we are not really familiar of. When it comes to apply for example, if you're working in Badula, if you want to do a large water access project, and suddenly there's no permission, or people sending from left, right, and center, we don't know where to go. So is there any system in place for people like us? Thank you.
I think it's directly communicating with the local government, or that, it's the getting permission. Yes, still there, permission you have to get. But we also do, if someone wants to, if we need to get a water. And in Hatton, recently we did it. So one club, they want to give water, but the water facilities are not there. So quickly we had a discussion with that particular company and management, and we did it within a month time. But I don't know, it's depend on, which area and how, but still there is a process you have to get permission to do. But I don't think it takes such a long time. I don't know, it's something wrong somewhere, right?
Thank you. I just wanted to point out it is 10 o'clock in Melbourne, and but I will continue for another 15 minutes, I would say, maximum. So it is Rahul.
Okay, good evening, everybody. So thank you for organizing this. And I agree with all the points made, but my main concern is upcountry, workers, they were used by the politicians for their advantage, and because of that, they were divided. So I am asking the presenter, what is the kind of works you guys doing to keep them as a whatever the political views, but as a workers, you guys doing anything to keep all together for the rights? Because divide and rule is, we all know, they're doing that thing for a long time and still doing that. So my question is, for the rights, do you guys do anything to keep all the workers together to win the demands? Thank you.
Yeah, what you said was correct. Actually, in the plantation sector, that is the one of the reason why this sector is like this. All the trade unions, as I said beforehand, it's a yellow trade unions. They have a link with party politics. So it's a right-wing, all the right-wing party politics they have. So therefore, they use the workers, they misuse the workers to get the votes. So they didn't really consider to do change the situation. And also they because of this, the workers also divided, because in Sri Lanka you can have so many not like Malaysia, one sector, one union. It's like any amount of union you can have. So if anybody interested in party politics, first they try to form a trade union and get involved through that to get votes. So that is the reason. And yes, red flag always we have, wherever go now, we are going to file a case again for the wage, right? When we file a case, actually it's not only for only our members, right? So it's whole sector going to get benefit. So the same, we already filed a case against the toilets. There is no toilets in the tea plantation sector. So it's not only for our workers. And also we have a system like our members always, after the awareness raising, they take all the information and to their estate. When they work in the field, they share it. So we always make sure that as much as more workers who get benefit it's, that's the change we want. All sectors should change, not a small amount workers. So we don't have that very, our members, only our members, that system is not there.
Thank you, Menaha. Now, I will allow Mr. Ranjit Vijayasinghe and then Dr. Rajitha Pereira to make it. But before that, I want to share another screen with you, just to let you know our next webinar. Sorry, give me a second. There's a technical issue. Yeah, this is our next webinar, and that will be on abolition of executive presidency and a new constitution for Sri Lanka. The panelists will be Dr. Jayampati Vikramaratne, Mr. Upul Kumar Apperuma, both of them are President's Councils, and Ms. Ermitsa Tegal and Ms. Swastika Arulingam. They are also attendees. So I just wanted to let you know. Thank you. Next, it will be, I will just allow Mr. Ranjit Vijayasinghe to say his comment.
Well, yeah, actually.
Ranjit, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Is there an effort to bring this to the attention of the international community, especially in the UK, so they drink a lot of tea. I mean, I've heard that somebody is making a video which can be distributed. Well, I can remember going back some years ago, one of the British television programs, I can't remember which channel was it, they had a program of the appalling conditions of the workers, and a lot of English were sort of surprised to hear what has been happening to them. So I think that's another way of bringing this to the attention of the international community, especially now there are a lot of tourists who come there. Maybe they're coming from tea drinking countries, Do they know I mean, I have seen the appalling conditions of the workers in many of their states, I don't think they have improved at all. In fact, they would have been getting worse. And also, I mean, as you said, that their wages and their salaries have been reduced, and there is an attempt to bring casualisation. So I think that's another way of bringing, I mean, things like that will bring pressure on the government as well, because, they depend on tourists, they depend on international help in Sri Lanka. So that's the comment that.
Okay. Thank you. And I think it will be a good opportunity for Comrade Mandiko to explain the project, international project, about the video, to make the international community aware briefly, and also probably mention about the international project we did for Gauss company in Sri Lanka. Thank you. Answer Sri Lanka. We carried out an international campaign. Yeah, Comrade Mandiko, if you could be very brief, I would appreciate, because we have only 7 minutes more.
So I'll just say for 1 minute. So yes, we, Comrade Guinevere and myself and some other comrades in Workers' International Discussion, we have conducted international campaigns before in Sri Lanka. We did work to support the ANSOL workers who have been treated horribly in Sri Lanka, and eventually they achieves a win, a significant win. This particular campaign was requested by Red Flag Union to us, and we brought it to another organization called CDMS, Community Defense Marshalling System, because they have many young activists who are very keen to be able to do solidarity work. And so we have been developing a video. And so we just started making this video, and the idea of this video is to inform people in countries where they drink a lot of tea, like the UK, but also Turkey, also other countries, what it is like for plantation workers, basically to say they're just being treated very, very badly. That is just for information, but obviously we want to use the information to build a solidarity campaign. And the most important part of the solidarity campaign will be to build links between workers and to basically say to the companies that they have to change, not just to the government, but we have to say to the companies that they do not have the right to just continuously exploit workers. So that is what we're doing. So we will continue to advertise meetings, and I think Comrade Lionel and Comrade Chitra will be able to publicize them to yourselves. So we will have other international meetings, but we are not just doing them on Sri Lanka. We're doing them as international workers' campaigns. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kumar. Dr. Rajitha Berger.
Thank you, Lionel. Let me tell you that I am a medical doctor, and I worked in the plantation from 1981 to 1994, when the plantations were under the Sri Lanka State Plantations Corporation and the Janata Estates Development Board. And from about 1970s to 1992, there were definite improvements in housing, water sanitation, and health. What has happened after that, I am not aware. Possibly when the government gave the estates back to the private sector, it has deteriorated. That needs to be documented very well, because to say they have no latrine, they don't have enough good housing, that is not correct. Twin cottages were built, latrines were built, engineers worked on those, doctors worked on those, and qualified midwives were appointed to estate. So, Lionel, I think the truth is to be found out. And regarding education, I'm aware there's a person called Sunda who works for upliftment of education in estate. He's in smart teaching, etc. And they get a lot of aid from India, and they have improved the education in estate. So the entire picture is not clear, the current situation. If the Malaiyaha people have not been treated properly, that is a disgrace for the country. And I apologize.
Thank you, Dr.
That has to be corrected.
Okay.
And Lionel, I think starting with this, there should be a gathering together of concerned people, which will speak to the government, because the NPP also has a unit that represents the plantation. Thank you.
Thank you. Menaha, do you want to make any comment? Or just okay, let us move on. Now, I will allow only two more questions or comments from Dr. Dhammika Herath and Dr. Kana. Sorry, Munden, Dr. Munden. We call him Dr. Munden. Sorry. Those will be the last questions, and then we will wind up. Okay, Dr. Herath.
Yeah, thank you, Comrade Lionel, and thank you, Menaha. I was a little rude in the beginning. This is just a small question, and it's not a comment. I'm a doctor, medical doctor, and a psychiatrist. I worked in a state in Peradeniya and used to treat a lot of Malaiyaha people. And in fact, very recently, just about 4 months ago, I traveled to Hatton area to meet some of my former colleagues, friends, as well as some of the workers myself. I usually don't publish them, of course. My question is that this is from Menaka specifically. Do you have any evidence or any knowledge about what the Malayaga people think of living in their current accommodation and working for states as workers? Because I don't believe this particular word workers. I have significant questions around that, but put it aside. Do you have any evidence to say, or evidence at your hand, or some idea? Do the Malayaga people has expressed you, or you gathered that do they really want to live up there in the mountains in Kandy, Nuwara, and of course the southern provinces? Thank you.
I think it's a good evidence if there are testimonies in the Workers' Tribunal. Very clearly they said, we want to, they didn't say much, but few words. They said dignity is very important for us. The reasonable housing, right? Like other people, how they are living, we want, right? And the wage, equal wage for equal work, we want. It's very clear evidence in the testimony. All the stories are recorded. Yes, we have the evidence.
Thank you. Next, it is Dr. Kanappamundan. Thank you.
It's only a comment. There is a concept called modern day slavery, which is very much practiced in a lot of places. Even when we buy things, when we order things, these questions being asked, whether this modern day slavery is practiced and whether we are going to. So that's a very powerful concept. Sri Lanka is in an economic difficulty, so it's in nobody's interest to punish Sri Lanka economically, but at the same time, this concept of modern day slavery can be used as a leverage to get the rights and dignity of the people. I think that should be considered by people who are in this area.
Thank you. I think it was more a comment like an advice. So thank you very much. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank everybody for your attendance and comments and sort of all the contributions you made, and also for Comrades Mandiko and Comrade Gwyneth, who made arrangements for Comrade Menaha's visit, and for Naxal has been willing to sponsor, but we were not financially capable of doing that, so they had to go alone. And again, I invite all of you to take part in our future webinars, because they are very important ones. I think from my point of view, in Sri Lanka, I think priorities should be to make a better system. And I think that the Constitution makes an important part of it. So I will again thank you all very much. So, all right. Good night, everybody. And
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lionel. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.